Hi, this is Aulbrie Sass for Pambazuka News. Today I'm at the Oxfam International offices here in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I had the pleasure of speaking with the head of office, Mr. Desiree Assogbavi, about how Oxfam works with the African Union. We talked a little bit about what he thinks are the major accomplishments, as well as missed opportunities that he's seen in the Union over the past 50 years, as well as things to come in the future and how the African Union can continue to better itself. Thank you so much, Mr. Desiree Assogbavi, Head of Office of Oxfam, for chatting with me today.
You're welcome.
To get things started, I'd like to ask you, in your opinion, what are the key achievements of the African Union over the past 50 years, or for as long as you've been working with the AU?
If we talk about 50 years, then we are forced to go back to the OAU, the Organization of African Unity. And that one was created with a very clear objective of finalizing the decolonization of the continent, fight for the independence of the few other countries that remain under the colonialism. That was the main objective of the Organization of African Unity, created in the 63. Now, this objective has been achieved because at the evening of the creation of the AU in the year 2000, all African countries were independent. Apartheids were killed in South Africa, so that was the main things. Of course, we can talk about integrations, which is also part of the agenda of the OAU, but the integration is a long process that, of course, was started with the OAU. Now, around the year 2000, the Constitutive Act of the AU was adopted. There was a big shift that needs to be highlighted. The AU now start talking about human rights, talking about prosperity, talking about peace in the continent. And most importantly, the AU was talking about citizen participation. So it was the first time in the history of the whole African agenda that the continental policy insists on a people-driven organizations. So that was a big shift. Today we are celebrating the 50 years anniversary of the creation of the OAU. But since the AU is a continuation of the OAU, OAU itself was created around the year 2000, realization around the year 2002. Now the AU has set up clear objectives about fighting against poverty, prosperity of the citizens, human rights, democracy, good governance, people's participations. So we should judge the AU against those objectives. We already know what the AU, what the OAU were created for. Now the AU we're looking more at the new dynamic. So on that one, it is approximately 10 years now when the AU that we have now are created. In terms of achievement, I will say there are, a strong forum. There's a strong forum around which citizens can discuss. We're given the opportunity to discuss the issues that the continent is facing. There seems to be a clear leadership and clear programs splitted in various subjects, including peace and security, economic affairs, political affairs, gender equality, science and technology. Those has been very clearly defined. I will also mention that over the last 10 years since the creation of the AU, very strong policies were adopted. Strong and progressive policies. I compare some of the policies adopted within the AU with some of the policy adopted around the UN, for example. Policy against corruptions, gender equality, children's rights, Charter on Democracy and Elections, just to mention those. We have seen good frameworks that aim to promote, small-scale agriculture. And many of those things were adopted, I believe, genuinely. So one of the key achievements is to put policy down and clearly define the objectives or where they want to be.